Hey friends, it's Shay here. So today I am here with a recommendation video. This is one that I do relatively often on my channel, but it's been a long minute since I've done one. And this is manga recommendations for romance readers, with it being the month of love and fall into manga love later this week. It is a manga readathon that I host yearly, a couple times a year. I will leave info linked in the corner for you so that you can get all the info that you need on that. So I decided to give some recommendations because why not? It's fun and it's the month of love and it just feels appropriate. So these are ones that I have not mentioned in the previous videos that I've done like this. So I will leave those sprinkled throughout in the cards, so make sure you check the cards to check out those other videos if you want even more recommendations. So the first one I'm going to talk about is a pretty popular one, but it's getting close to finishing, so I'm going to bring it up again, and that is Wotakoi Love is Hard for Otaku. So essentially, these two knew each other in elementary school, they kind of drifted apart, and now they get reacquainted, you could say, as they work at the same place. So this is an office space romance. Their senpais are also in a relationship. There are three main relationships that you follow throughout the course of the series. It is absolutely fantastic. It is fun. It is witty. It is for all the nerdy love people out there. All the people who love love and are total nerds. She is a fujoshi, or someone who loves, like, boys love manga, and he is a gaming otaku where he's basically addicted to video games in a sense, but he can be responsible. He does his work. It's just how he spends his time because he was a single guy. She thought no one would ever love her for her geeky side, so she's always pretended to be somebody else, but as soon as they find out, they break up with her. And because he already knows this about her, he's like, hey, why don't we try dating? And they start dating. It's fantastic. I really love this. There is an anime on Amazon Prime if you're interested in watching that, but I do wholeheartedly love the manga. There's only going to be one more volume coming out, and it should be coming out in the next month or two. So this is the perfect time to get on and read this. These are basically 2-in-1 volumes, so you get a decent amount of content for your money. Definitely worth the investment. The next one is a Yuri, or a female-female relationship if you're unfamiliar with the terminology. And this one is going to be a tropical fish yearns for snow. So this is about two girls who meet in the aquarium club at their high school. The main girl who's like in charge of things, it's a very small club. She is pretty quiet and shy, and this new girl who's a year younger than her ends up coming into the picture and joining the club, and they start to form a relationship together. It's very slow burn, very high school angst feeling, but like jealousy stuff is actually put to rest pretty quickly. This one, again, is almost complete. There are going to be 9 volumes. The eighth volume is currently out. So this is another one where it is the perfect time to jump in and read this. It is really sweet and cute, and I just really adore the art style in this one. So I would 10 out of 10 recommend this one. Now we're going to do a boys love manga, one of my favorites. Again, slightly bonkers. Y'all know me. I like things slightly bonkers, like it's just a thing. And this one is Cherry Magic. 30 Years of Virginity Can Make You a Wizard. So I've done a try 3 about the first 3 volumes of this series. I will link that in the corner for you guys to check out. But in this one, this man here is a virgin. He's 30. And once he turns 30, he can actually hear what people think. And because of that, he finds out that his coworker has all sorts of dirty, filthy thoughts about him. And so it starts to have him evaluate how he feels about his coworker. And things slowly start to blossom from there. I love this so much. Again, slightly bonkers because of the mind reading thing. And he has a buddy who's slightly younger than him who doesn't believe it. But throughout the course of the series, the same thing happens to him as well. And so you get like his little tidbits on the side. It's absolutely fantastic. And again, the art is really fun and nice, and I really enjoy it. These are slower to come out. This is from Square Enix. I do love the quality of their publishing, but they are a little slow. But that's okay. I'd rather have them take their time and make sure that they are solid and beautiful rather than have them rush them. So yes, only the first 3 are out, but volume 4 is coming out either later this month or in March. I can't remember, but it's soon. Next on the list is one that might be slightly hard to get your hands on. I'm sorry in advance, but the sequel series is easily available. So that's why I'm bringing it up at all. And that is QQ Sweeper. And the sequel series is Queen's Quality. Queen's Quality made my best manga of 2021 list for a very good reason. In this, we're following Q and Fumi, who Q recognizes Fumi and thinks that she looks like this person that he was in love with when he was little. And so he does everything he can to kind of like take care of her. And they end up basically in a situation where they end up living together. I don't want to spoil things, so I'm being very vague here. But essentially, this whole series and this whole universe that has been created has a very big discourse on mental health and how one little thing can spiral into big, dark things in our minds. And these two have the ability to go inside people's minds and like clean it out and purify it and help get rid of those toxic thoughts. And it is so well done. It is so well handled. I love it so, so much. And whenever I read it, I feel like I have to like clean my house. So it's motivation for me to clean. So if sometimes you're feeling unmotivated, maybe look at this series. But either way, it's fun. This is by one of my favorite mangakas, Kyosuke Motomi, who also did Dengeki Daisy and Beastmaster. So I really love their art. It is absolutely fantastic. Let me find a not spoilery panel to show you. But it's very fun, very enjoyable. Has that rom-com feel, but it has a serious side to it as well, and I really appreciate it for that. Let's do another female title. One of my favorites. If you're a fan of Sweat and Soap, this is the female version of that for me, and that is Our Teachers Are Dating. So the title pretty much explains what's happening here. We have two teachers at the same school. The students actually encourage their relationship because they can see how much they care about one another, and it is their slice of life of their relationship. And I believe this one's only going to be 4 volumes long. And so we're just waiting for that final volume to come out because the first 3 are out. Again, I did a try 3 for this one, but I absolutely adore this. And the cover of volume 3, like, is so pretty. But, you know, we're gonna be good kids here in this more general video. But their relationship is so sweet and so pure. Very much the same kind of feel of Sweat and Soap without, like, the weird smelling thing. But, like, they are cute. I really love them. 10 out of 10 recommend. And let's do another boys love title that is really fun and quirky. You know me, I like the quirky things. Guys, I'm sorry, okay? But this one also has vampires, and that is The Vampire and His Pleasant Companions. So essentially this is about a guy named Al who kind of has a botched vampire transformation where he actually doesn't have his fangs to actually like puncture and drink blood. And so when he's in his bat form at night, he just ends up like drinking the blood at a like a meat butcher plant kind of area. So he just has the meat from the blood from that meat sustain his livelihood. Anyways, one day he ends up flash frozen in one of these cows and transported to Japan from Nebraska, by the way, which who'da thunk? And he ends up getting thawed out and he has to find his way in Japan in this new country where he doesn't know how to speak to people, and it's fun shenanigans. And he ends up with this roommate named, oh, what is his name? Basically, this guy here on the cover, he loves his bat form, but his human form he doesn't know how to feel about. And so it's their relationship. It's fantastic. By the end of volume 4, like, oh my gosh, I was cackling. It is so fun. 10 out of 10 would recommend. There are some mystery elements to it as well, which makes it really fun to read because you kind of never know what you're going to walk into in a volume. And I love that kind of unknowing anticipation with it. It's really just a fun time to read. Would recommend. So the next one is one that people told me to read forever because it was only available digitally for a long time, but it is now physically releasing. So I'm finally reading it. And that is Lovesick Ellie. This is the high school shoujo of the moment. Lovesick Ellie is about this girl who has a Twitter account that basically has her fantasizing about a relationship with her crush. And from there, she gets to know the crush a little bit and realizes he's nothing like she's imagined. And she ends up leaving her phone out in a situation where he's actually able to see it. And so he sees this Twitter account and starts to like tease her about it, knowing that it's him. And because she's unlike anybody who like throws themselves at him, because he plays the prince at school, and she, you know, just knows his true nature, and it's hilarious. He ends up starting to have feelings for her, and things kind of go from there. I do have volume 2, but I have not read it yet. It just barely came out. So yes, like some of these tweets, like you can kind of read them on the back if you run across it physically, are hilarious. Like the fantasies that she has are insane, and I love them. And like, she's slightly pervy, and I love her for it. We love a pervy heroine, because usually it's the guys depicted that way, but let's be real, I'm a perv too. So I love this series a whole lot so far, and I cannot wait to keep going. Next is one for my gothic romance lovers, or my gothic story lovers, and that is Rose and Blood. Again, we're dealing with vampires. Basically, this is gothic vampire reverse harem, is the easiest way to kind of describe this one to people. And it's fantastic. I don't want to say too much more, because I think the less you know before you go in, the better. And the art style is stunning. Quite love it. So much to love about the series. And I'm really excited for volume 2. It's coming out the first week of March. So again, very, very excited to continue. Next is one of my favorites. This is for my monster romance lovers, and that is Kaiju Girl Caramelize. So essentially, this teenage girl is also a kaiju, or like this big Godzilla type character, where when she gets like overly stimulated, like in her romantic feelings, she turns into a kaiju. And the boy that she has a crush on sees this in her, and he thinks the kaiju's cute too. And so they start a relationship, and it's adorable. It is precious. I love this so much. Like, this is the monster romance I've been looking for a long time in manga form. And it's adorable. I love it so very much. Please, please, please read Kaiju Girl Caramelize. There are 4 volumes out, and volume 5 comes out soon, I believe, is where we're at on this series. And yes, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Like, she's so cute. She's got these pigtails, and like, they're just adorable. I love them so much. And then last but not least for this list is the Savior's Book Cafe story in Another World. This is a newer one. And we have this woman who basically is recruited by the god of this world to come and save it. And like, there's initially some stipulations, and he says, I'm happy to grant you a wish before you go. She's like, are my wishes limited? He's like, well, no one's asked me, but no. And so she basically gets to the point where all she wants to do is run this book cafe, but she also wants to like heal people and make sure that people are physically their best, so that they can just sit and enjoy their reads while she takes care of them in this cafe. And this guy Eel, who is like basically the head knight of the kingdom, stumbles in there by accident, and he really enjoys his time there, loves getting to know her, and he's like, wow, her magic power is insane. I think she's the person we've been looking for, not this. Because another person was sent there, but all she wanted to do was be loved, and so she's got the prince around her finger, and the kingdom's falling apart. So things are kind of going from there. It's fantastic. I love it so much. Would 10 out of 10 recommend. There's only this first volume out right now, but I believe volume 2 is coming out very soon as well. So again, getting in early. So if you're a slower collector, this might be easier, because you're only going to have a volume every few months to pick up. So again, another one to maybe look into. So friends, those are my recommendations for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below some of your favorite romance mangas that you're reading, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Was it all just a dream, just all in my